Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, welcome back.
Yeah.
Thanks for being patient. A couple of you I know actually messaged us wondering where the next episode was, so we appreciate that. Thank you. Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Wish we had good news to...
I know.
Some breaking news, to reveal to you all, but no, we don't.
We don't, and that's the one thing. First thing I did want to say was, I don't remember it being this quiet.
It's too quiet.
In all this time that we've done the show, I don't know, man. What was the last big announcement? I think it was Cassian, right? I think it was the last really big one.
Official Star Wars reveal, public, all that. So,
which was before Christmas, before.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was months ago. I feel like.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's been so long. I was thinking about this when you were coming over here. I was like, we have officially mentioned that we're going to Celebration, right?
Yeah.
Has that happened?
We talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing that has happened or since then, because we were waiting for an official email.
Yep.
That I think came in the last few weeks about the list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure in our last episode that list had been out.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So we will talk about a little bit of Celebration right now, which is the list of podcasters has been
We're on the website,
revealed.
Y'all.
We are on the website.
We're in.
Did I give you I gave you the logo, right?
Yes.
Did we send that?
I forwarded to him.
Oh, we did send it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So good. So that's out there. I don't know if they've incorporated that on the site yet at all.
Last time I checked, they did not.
They did not.
I'm about to check right meow.
So the really cool thing I will say, this is obviously our. If you've heard us before, this is our second time going to be broadcasting from Celebration.
Yes.
And I think it's pretty cool that another podcast had reached out to kind of get the collection of us together.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a Slack account that we're all kind of talking on there, and it's pretty neat to feel the love from everybody. And what we don't know yet actually is when we are actually going to be on stage,
Right.
which I'm hoping they reveal that soon. I can't remember when we found out last time. We knew before we went down there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I'm having a hard time finding podcast.
The list. Yeah.
Their mobile
it actually
site's
found
different.
me. It actually took me a little while to find it too.
Yeah. Their mobile site's a little differently. Can't navigate
Laid
it as
out.
well.
Yeah. So as Casey looks it out, I'll talk about the
Stay tuned.
the guests that have been announced. It's no surprise because I feel like the last few celebrations, especially the last one in Orlando, the 40th anniversary, had just a ton of guests.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford making his first appearance, Hayden Christensen making his first appearance. This year, the big announcement just came today, actually, that Ian McDermott is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You've got tons of other people. Now, this is mostly the autograph section, so obviously they'll be part of panels, I'm sure. But Catherine Tabor will be there, which I think I read this right, or I think she's actually doing the audiobook for Queen's Shadow.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I saw her.
Cool.
I didn't read into it, but I saw a picture of her recording. And then she mentioned about doing the audiobook or doing the book or something like that.
That's good.
So I'm assuming, I think she is doing the audiobook. Christopher Sean, obviously star of Resistance right now, will be there. Daniel Logan, Dave Chapman, D. Bradley Baker, Donald Faison, Greg Grunberg, James Arnold Taylor, Jania Gavankar, Jason Isaacs, Jet Lucas, John Ratzenberger, Jonas Tsunotomo, Matthew Wood. I mean, the list goes. Peter Mayhew, Sam Witwer, Tamora Morrison, Tom Kane, Vanessa Marshall. I mean, this is all the normal people, I would say.
All the good Star Wars people.
All the good Star Wars people are making it back to Celebration. Obviously, you can get pictures with them and autographs, but more than likely they'll be part of panels, which are the big reveals.
Yeah, I saw advertised today. If you're not already subscribed to get notifications for Celebration, you can. But you can go ahead and get. It says if you buy your Monday tickets by Wednesday, February 27th. No, sorry. This is different. This is talking about like skip the will call line. So I guess there are still tickets available. Some Monday tickets, I guess.
There is.
So
yeah, I think Friday and Saturday are the only sold out days.
Okay. So not on my mic a little bit? Technical difficulties.
It looked like it was coming out.
Oh, interesting.
You're good.
It says that buy your tickets by next Wednesday, or a couple Wednesdays, February 27th. How am I not reading this right? Buy your Monday tickets by Wednesday. So I got this email today, and so by this Wednesday, which will be February 13th, then you'll get them and you'll get your tickets in the mail. This is
yeah. That's
February
right.
27th.
Yes, because March 1st they start sending out the tickets.
Okay, now I'm reading this right. This is just a wordly weirded word. Yeah. Buy your Monday tickets by Wednesday, February 27th, and get them in the mail. So you can still get your Monday tickets.
Wow, so that means Sunday might be sold out, actually.
Yeah, but pre-sales for the autograph and photo ops is coming this Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Time. So all these celebrities that you just listed off, if you want to go ahead and secure your ticket to get in line to get their autographs and selfies, be sure to hop on the interwebs 2 p.m. Central Time to get your pre-sale, your little ticket. So it's an extra little ticket normally if you want to get in the big lines for the big celebs.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the ticket sales right now. Monday Adult is the only one left.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So all weekend is sold out.
Yeah.
The 5-day is sold out. The kids 5-day is sold out. Of course, the Jedi Master VIP is sold out.
Now,
so Monday Adult, Monday Kids are the only available.
So if you're a kid, you can go by yourself. There's still tickets available. Now, it says only certain guests will be available for pre-sale for the autograph and photo op lines. And I do remember there always were a handful of celebrities that you had to get a ticket to get in line for, whatever. But a lot of those guys you can just walk up to.
Yes.
Right? There's like the autograph hall that you can usually just go up and say, hey.
Very much so.
Sign.
Some of them have hours and hours to wait. Like Mark Hamill, obviously.
Right.
I mean, some of them I remember Charles a couple celebrations ago just waited. He was in line for 2-3 hours to get a picture and get signatures and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But because they see them all. I mean, Mark will sit there and see everybody. It's pretty awesome. So I found the podcast list.
Okay, I gave up. Just gave up.
So here are the Star Wars podcasts that you can enjoy while at Celebration.
Live.
Now, again, we have no idea the time of the schedule yet, but we have been told that, again, just to make it clear, because I think I'm right on this, because I keep hearing, unless they changed it, but I don't think they did. As far as I know, Thursday is just the vendor floor.
Yeah.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday are the days that the panels and the podcast stage.
Right.
So these podcasts will be one of those 4 days.
Yeah.
So not Thursday.
Right.
Here are the 25 Star Wars podcasts that will be doing a show there. Beyond the Outer Rim, the Cantina Cast, Coffee with Kenobi, Fangirls Going Rogue, Fantha Tracks Radio, Faxthenic History, which is Brian Young's other podcast, I think. The Force Cast, From the Bata Tank, Galactic War Report, Keeping Up with the Geek Bros, Get Your Geek On. Whoa, Inside the Force.
Hey, look at those guys. They're good.
Lords of the Sith, Never Tell Me the Pods, Rogue Podron, Sky Talkers Podcast, Star Wars Bookworms, Star Wars Minute, Star Wars Action News, Tarkin's Top Shelf, The Canon Cantina, which those are the guys I think that started the group on Slack. The Rated NA podcast, the Resistance podcast, and Unmistakably Star Wars.
A lot of big names in there.
Yeah.
All those guys were at Celebration previously as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of familiar
That's a lot of
shows. 25 divided by 4, so you're talking about 6 shows roughly a day.
And I think one of the emails I received, it was you are, I think I'm remembering this right. You're given an hour time slot for everything. So for setup, do your show.
That's right.
Tear down.
Yes.
So our show will be shorter than that.
I think there's a little
day.
brief in between.
There is,
right,
yeah.
15 minutes or so, maybe, or 30 minutes.
15 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah, we went off. We were off 6 o'clock, I think, on like a Friday night. I think is when we went last time.
Decent. We missed actually one panel that I think we wanted to go to.
Well, yeah,
I can't remember what it was. I think it was one of the Mark Hamill's. I think it was Mark Hamill's panel.
Yes, it was Mark Hamill's. You're right.
So it wasn't like a big reveal thing. Unfortunately,
and there was an email, sent about whether or not you did not want to be on Monday or something like that, or what was it?
Yeah. So. Well, it's funny because I don't remember ever getting an email initiating, like, if you have a preference for which day you want to go on, to let me know. I think people were just already telling the organizer, Mark Newbold, what days they wanted to be on, because some of that get email saying, if you requested not to be on Monday, you're not going to be on Monday. Basically, he said he put everybody in the spots they were requested. So if you didn't request it, then you just filled the gap and then put you in whatever.
And we didn't care.
No,
right?
it didn't matter. So we might get a Monday because
we could.
A lot of people probably requested no Mondays. So,
yeah.
Hey, that's fine.
But I got to say, we talked about it because I was thinking the same thing. And I thought, well, actually, Monday might be the best day.
We'll have so much to talk about.
We have been able to go to all the any panel we really wanted to, unless there was some big reveal Monday but I don't, that's highly unlikely. So Monday would be a great show, a great discussion. I mean, I don't think an hour would be able to fill it.
No, we'll have to be quick.
We'd have to, condense our show.
We probably couldn't talk about a lot. Like if let's say they do show the Mandalorian like first episode and we get to see it, we probably can't talk about it.
That's probably right.
But we'll tell you. We'll emote our feeling. We'll just squeal probably the whole time.
We'll just be doing this the whole time.
you guys are gonna pee yourselves. Just take.
Man.
Yeah. We'll make something up. We'll just make up a Halloween. Oh wow! Can't believe. I can't believe Jar Jar came back or something like that.
So here. What about this? Because I think we talked about if you had one panel to go to, what would you go to? But if you had only one premiere to go to,
so
Mandalorian, or Clone Wars, which one you watching there? Because they're both coming out probably at the same time on Disney Plus, right? Yeah. So which one can you wait for? Which one can't you wait for?
That's tough.
That is a tough question because I just now made it. I don't even know.
I think I know what you would pick. I think you'd pick Clone Wars.
I think I'm leaning towards Clone Wars.
But it's just because I would choose Mandalorian because it's so new. I'm just so curious to see what new part of the galaxy we're going to be introduced to.
And the only reason that's very true, that's probably the obvious answer, but. To me, I think of it as I would want to watch the next episode so badly. Like
of Clone Wars?
No. If I saw Mandalorian, I'd be like,
let's binge it.
Oh my gosh, I can't just watch just that one. And
no, you have the other ones.
At least Clone Wars, I'm familiar with it already, and I can. I don't know, and plus we've been waiting for that to come back for years.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's a hard one. That's hard
because Mandalorian again. It's so momentous, like the first live action show. So it's like I feel like I would. But both. I mean, both premieres. Like you're a part of something truly special. Because, because like you said, we've been waiting for so long for Clone Wars. But
I also know, I feel like of the two, I know for sure I'm gonna love Clone Wars. I may not love Mandalorian.
It's a safe bet.
I love Mandalorian.
Clone Wars is a safe bet. It's like, it's a great show. Mandalorian, who knows? Dave Filoni's first time directing live action, so who knows?
Yes. That's
I can only be optimistic about it.
I mean, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
But and the thing about it too is we at least have gotten a trailer already for the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Now, if I have not seen anything of The Mandalorian either, I'm like, am I really getting...
At the point of celebration?
If we don't... if they don't release anything prior to Celebration, because Celebration is obviously where we're going to get something. Mm-hmm. The more and more I think about it, it's hard. It actually would be harder for me to believe that we're seeing an episode without seeing a trailer yet. Is that, you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
Because...
I don't know about a trailer, but some kind of just some marketing.
But that's the thing, is that they could do what they did with Rebels. They could just spring an episode saying...
Well, they did the short films leading up to Rebels. Remember that?
The short films.
But you saw...
No. Remember when we were at Celebration this past one? Well, we missed the panel.
Oh, that.
And they showed the premiere. They premiered season 4.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it could be a Mandalorian panel, and they just say, by the way, here's the first episode.
Like, you're going to be waiting. It's like, what was it?
Because they could not tell us. It's possible they don't tell us that it's premiering there. I mean,
it's so... People are just going to be waiting around. Because it was like... I think this happened several times in Celebrations, but the one I can quickly think of is... Force Awakens, like when we got the Chewie We're Home trailer.
Yes.
There's that whole panel you're going through, you're sitting watching, you see behind the scenes stuff, some photos, but then it ends, and then JJ's like, "Oh, you guys want to see something else?" It's like, "Oh yeah, here's a trailer."
Yeah.
So,
and then cool. you remember that year? Well, you weren't.
I wasn't at that one. I wasn't at that celebration.
No. So in that celebration, they had it listed that they premiered the next episode of. Or they premiered the next season of Rebels. I think it was season 2. Because I saw the whole Vader thing, right?
Right.
So there's times when they've announced it, and there's times like last year, Star Wars Rebels, they premiered it and they didn't tell anybody. It was just the panel, right? Yeah. So I don't think they would go down that road for Mandalorian.
But gotta hope.
But like I said, if we don't get anything at all, which it looks like we're not. I mean, we're only 2 months away.
Yeah, at this point,
we're not going to get anything from Mandalorian until that. But see, then it begs you the question. I mean, do they truly have enough? Do they truly have the first episode done by then? I don't know. I'm starting to get a little skeptical about that now.
If they'd be ready,
yeah.
I mean, they're definitely through, I would say.
I mean, they're still shooting, right? Do you think they're still shooting?
I guess they still are, but they got to be through most of it because, and honestly, Taika Waititi, who's directing, we don't know which episode he's directing, I don't think, but he's done with at least some of it because he was talking about how the experience was working on Star Wars. And
that's true.
He was equating it to it's going to feel very much like the original trilogy. He says you really can't put that many jokes in it. So
yeah,
for those who are thinking it was going to be like Thor Ragnarok, it's not. It's going to be Star Wars to him, at least through his eyes and feel like it. So at least his part's done. I think Filoni's doing I want to say he's doing more than one.
I would think. I think
first
so.
couple, I can't remember
Maybe
if that was confirmed or not. But they got to be almost done shooting with it and well into post as well, well into the editing stage of it.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got to have at least the first episode done by then. I don't
even
care
if
it's not done.
I was about to say, even if it's not perfect, they got time to release it.
We didn't finish all the graphics. You're going to see a lot of green screen, a lot of wires. Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
I don't know.
Just show me the raw footage.
I think there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be that much green screen. It seems like they're trying to do a lot more practical.
Yeah, they are definitely. I mean, that helps keep the budget down. It would make sense.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Okay, well, I think I'm leaning towards Clone Wars still.
Yeah.
Though.
Okay. Well, you go to there. I'll go Mandalorian.
That way we can talk about it. Yeah.
Did you see? I just saw this.
Okay, so that's Celebration. I think. Look, we're excited. I mean, it's literally I think it's 60 days, less than 60 days.
I think we're about.
I saw
60, yeah.
I had it's right in front of me here on the site. It's on our site. It's 58 days. 58 days until Star Wars Celebration.
Crazy. Wow.
April 11th through the 15th. Again, Thursday is just the vendor floor day. Panels and everything start Friday night. So when they do finally release the schedule I'm guessing something big would probably be Friday morning. I mean, obviously that's opening ceremonies, and then they usually have the big panel.
Usually it's the movie.
Yes,
like the opening thing. I think the last one it wasn't, but
yeah, because it was the 40th anniversary.
Right.
So it depends.
Saturday morning was no, it was
Friday because it started on Thursday.
I keep forgetting.
I know,
Thursday
right?
That was always the first day.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to see what the schedule is. That'll determine whether or not we got to get in line Thursday night.
Ooh, gosh. Well, hopefully
Chicago is not going to be warm.
Yeah, hopefully the lines are treated better, especially because of the weather.
Yeah, agreed. But I think both of us can't say enough how special Star Wars Celebration is. They've really turned it into a fantastic place to be.
Yep.
It's fantastic. So, and I'm actually glad it's a different place. You know, I mean, we kind of got used to Orlando. I mean, we knew,
but it's so good.
It is so good. I mean, it's hot. You know, it doesn't. Well, but that's usually in the summertime when we're going down there. It's usually August or July or something like that. But Anaheim, I remember it was warm out there. But that was April. You know, it's still warm, but it's LA. But this will be cold. Chicago is not fun, especially now.
Yeah.
Okay, so celebration, 58 days. We'll be there. One little piece of news I wanted to talk about, which was the possible. Look, the last couple of weeks we actually waited. We kind of postponed last week a little bit, thinking that this whole rumor that the title was going to get revealed.
I was hoping. Star Wars show coming back and everything. Oh, like everybody else, we kind of got sucked into like, oh, maybe finally they'll say something, but still quiet.
It is still quiet. Do you think that this possible leak caused them to postpone it?
What, the leak of all the clothes and the
leak of the title,
alleged title,
the alleged
leak.
title.
Yeah, that has happened so many times with other leaks and movies and franchises, so it's very quite possible. Still don't know if I fully believe if it was true though. What was supposedly leaked?
Yeah. So I don't know if I haven't seen it since, but basically the leak, it was a Reddit post, I think, that said somebody got into the back code of the site, which
you can find that easily.
Yeah, and you can fake that stuff easily. But
sure.
It was they found a screenshot of a graphic that had a purple outlined Star Wars logo with Balance of the Force as the title. Now, Balance of the Force is actually one of the titles we had guest on our show, so we could be right.
Yeah.
But the more and more I thought about it and read it, I'm like, this ain't right. I don't think this is real.
Purple, I mean, people get hung up on the color, but you should, because purple didn't seem. I don't know why they would choose purple unless that's Rey's new color.
That's actually, she needs to repair the lightsaber, right?
Repaired it,
and now it's purple.
You would think it'd still be blue because I think you still saw the crystal in there, and I mean it'd just be she can repair it, might be fractured. But
well, that brings up another thing because I'm a little because there was a long time when it was kind of known that the crystals had different colors. But as far as I know, what's canon now is that all the crystals are actually white. And the color is reflective of the user.
Yeah.
But I think it stays that color. Once it becomes that color, it stays that color. So that's probably, unless it bleeds red.
Yeah, unless and
then gets
to do it.
saved or redeemed, and it's white.
Yeah.
But I think once it stays a color, it doesn't change per the user.
Right.
So yes, if she repaired the lightsaber and kept that crystal, it'd probably still be blue. But maybe she goes and gets her own crystal.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. That's true. I'd never thought about that.
That's why it'd be so great if it took place, like a year or so, like we keep hearing. Time has passed. It's plenty of time to kind of reset some things, push the characters a little further. She's raised back, new look and everything, and new lightsaber, and ready to go.
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, as far as merchandise goes, that would make that would make sense.
Absolutely,
because you have to buy Rey with a purple lightsaber now, right?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool. It should be up there with Mace Windu. Just the two of the coolest characters. They got the coolest lightsabers.
Yes, totally. Yeah, so I didn't even think about that. If that's the case, I would love that.
And Balance of the Force is such a great title, and I love the meaning behind it.
Yes. Oh, so you'd be happy with that title?
I would love it because it would make me think so much about what it could be about, and because I've always been in love with the Balance of the Force idea, and always wanted to learn more about it. And and I thought we were going to get so much more from The Last Jedi, and they touched on it. I actually learned a little bit, and it kind of clarified a little bit of it, of the Balance of the Force, but that they just kind of, it was very superficial. They just didn't spend too much time on it.
He kind of dismissed it.
Yeah, it's that one line. Rey said balance, I think, and then Luke says, powerful dark, powerful light, and that was it. It's like, oh, I love that. But that was it.
That's yeah.
So more of that would be great.
Sidebar on lightsabers. Did you see the complete sidebar work? Did you see the camera?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh my!
I never knew that's what it really was.
I never knew what it looked like. Yeah. I remember hearing where it came from. I knew that it came from an old camera or something like that, or something. But
right, the lightsaber hilt, and that was Obi-Wan's, Anakin's. It was
Luke's
and Anakin's saber hilt came from an old photo camera.
For those watching us on YouTube, it's that hilt. I mean, it's that.
So it's so cool. And since we're filming it, which is great to actually pull this out. But he was explaining to me that these are windshield wipers.
Those are windshield wipers.
That was like LED, some kind of LED from a calculator thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot what other part.
There's a tape or something that
tape down up here and down here to cover like the logo of what it actually was. But it was so amazing because this lightsaber hilt, it's all pretty much there. Like it had the little clip thing here.
It did.
Had the button, had these little buttons at the top and these little doodads. And so it's like you didn't have to build anything really. You just had to cover up some things and that's it.
That's right.
So that is incredible.
This thing slid on the camera. Yeah. That's what it I mean, the red button is there.
And it was so funny because they brought me to the office saying, like, do you want to see the original, like what basically is the original prop from a lightsaber from Star Wars? And I thought it was going to be the whole thing with the carbon blade and the cable that, all that stuff from A New Hope. But no, I saw the camera on our table. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And I thought I didn't know what honestly didn't know what I was seeing. It's like, so the flash of the bulb created like the lightsaber clashing effect or something. Is that what you did? No, he starts taking it apart, and suddenly he has this in his hand. Like, how did you just do that?
I know.
How did this? That's how they got the lightsaber.
That's how they got the lightsaber. So yeah, same way. So we work with a guy named Santos, and huge Star Wars guy. Actually, I want to bring him on the show, but he. It was funny because all day that morning he was like, "Come see me when you got a chance." I didn't have a minute all day. I was in and out of meetings. But anyway, our last meeting we had till about 5, almost 5:30. I walked out and he's like, "Are you gonna be here for a minute?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, just wait here." And he ran back to my office and he walked in with the camera, and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's old." And he's like, "You don't see it?" Yeah. And I looked at it like,
I didn't.
Oh my! And then he started taking it apart. Yeah. And if everybody wants to see the camera, I posted it on our Twitter and Instagram feed. So go there, and you can see the camera. But it's an American camera.
He said he got it at a flea market.
He did, and it's an old camera. So in 1975, the prop guys, took it off. So it created Luke's lightsaber, Anakin's old lightsaber. Now there's a German camera. The German version of that is the same thing, except it's has black on it, and that was Vader's.
Yeah. So there's like tons of these probably out there right now.
I guess, yeah.
Or a handful, I don't know.
And then he said that he said that the Obi-Wan one was made out of like a pipe and some other things, but that was kind of manufactured. But this one and the Vader one were same version of the camera. That one was European, one was American. So yeah, crazy. I mean, I love this thing.
It's so good. I mean, because you can just look at it and think like, well, this whole time thinking like, oh, what does this button do? Why would a Jedi put this on there? It's like, oh, well, it was just because it was actually already there, part of the prop they found with the camera. Like this little clip, like what in the world? But It's super cool. And then we got into the discussion about where the button actually is, and how the movie's always depicted as something else. I feel like the toy always kept it right here in the center part.
Yes, and this turns on with that.
Yeah,
This actual prop turns on with
the toy always,
because this is a metal replica of what they used in the movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but Finn presses that button. Yeah, so it's
sometimes they don't even do anything. Like they just hold it. Like I think the first
Force
time
turns it on.
Yeah, there you go. Like I think the first time Luke did it, I don't think he touched anything.
I don't think he did either.
But anyways,
yeah, I don't know. That's tough. That's cool though. I mean, I've been dying to find this.
the removable blade.
The removable blade. You know, that's the big thing. It's you never can find one that's removable. So this is actually the Rey. This is the Rey. They call it the Rey lightsaber. But it's the same one, obviously. I want to get the Yoda one so I can put it at the office. But but I've always wanted the removable blades because I just wanted the hilt sitting on my desk.
I mean, it's functional. You can clip it and
totally. Yes. I might walk around Celebration with this.
That's it.
Why not?
There you go. Make your own little Jedi character. That's what everybody does.
Oh,
Make your own person.
Okay, anyway, there's a little sidebar there, but the camera is pretty cool. Again, you can check it out on our feeds. It's pretty neat. So back to the title a little bit. I'm with every passing day, I'm getting less and less optimistic that we're going to actually get anything before Celebration.
Yeah,
I mean, 58 days.
That's so weird because I cannot pinpoint Star Wars' marketing. I know people have tried, like Cody follows Reddit and follows the marketing plan of all the previous films. So, everybody has ideas of how it's lining up and when things should release. At this point, I'm thinking, I don't think they have a plan. They just either the plan is don't release anything until Celebration. Other than that, it just seems kind of random. But
yeah. And we'll get into that here in a second with our episode 9 discussion. But I think I got to feel like more than ever, JJ's been very secretive of his productions.
Right.
I mean, this one apparently I think there's some crazy stuff that happens in this maybe.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
He's got to really keep it closed. And I think maybe the plan is to limit the marketing a little bit.
I mean, from what I've one thing that I read, honestly, from John Boyega, that thing I mentioned the other 2-3 episodes ago, I guess, the post he made about just finished today on set, and we accomplished something truly visually just breathtaking and stunning. Paraphrasing, but
yeah,
we heard similar things from Last Jedi. We heard the cast kept saying that Rian Johnson's doing something different, and it feels very different, all this kind of stuff. But now we know what that means.
Yeah.
But maybe this will be different.
Okay, so let's get into this because this segment into this because with the lack of just talking points and stuff that news out there, let's just go ahead and start speculating. We're still 11 months away from episode 9. Obviously, we'll be discussing tons and tons more once we start seeing stuff. But I think the one thing I've heard a lot of shows and a lot of people talk about is, speculation with theories right now. I mean, the biggest theories right now that are floating around are, will Kylo be redeemed?
Yeah.
Are we going to see the Knights of Ren? Is there a bigger threat? Is Snoke coming back? Is Palpatine coming back? These are a lot of the... will we see Force Ghost Anakin? Luke, how much is he going to factor in? So there's so many different speculations, and obviously there's leaks here and there, spoilers possibly that are out there. One thing I want to kind of do with us right now is something that obviously we can reflect on before we see the movie in December. But what is it, if you can even pinpoint it, what is it that to you would satisfy the conclusion of this? Not just this movie, or not just this trilogy, but this entire Skywalker saga. And does it have to, in your mind, kind of fulfill this whole journey somehow. You know, like if you were to sit down and watch from the beginning, episode 1, and see this journey of 9 movies, does that 9th movie end the entire saga, or does it end just that trilogy? What does it need to do in your mind to be a satisfactory end, in a sense? I know it's a broad question, you know, but
well, sit back, everybody. Let's listen. Here's the answer. Okay, so I do. I mean, it has to end the trilogy, and from what we keep hearing about the Skywalker Saga, it has to end the series of trilogies. So to me, it's already feeling like it, but to me, it will be a conclusion to the saga films. So meaning, I mean, honestly, I don't know what it can definitively mean yet, but specifically for the Skywalker family, I mean, we'll see an arc to the question of Kylo's, Ben's redemption, if that will happen or not. That is the big question I keep hearing and reading on Reddit. But if he's even can be redeemed or some form of redemption. Now, personally, I think he could be redeemed in the eyes of Rey and maybe several of the other Resistance people. But as a whole, no, he has crimes against the galaxy. Like he can't be. They can't just forgive him for all of that.
Right.
So, regardless of what happens there, I don't know if that means he's going to die or not. I don't think the Skywalker family is going to die off. Like, I think they're going to live. They're not going to kill off Rey. They're going to kill off probably not Finn or Poe.
But is she a Skywalker?
I don't know. Yeah, it's still. I don't know. I think we could still hold our breath on that. But just what we do know, Ben Solo, he could very well die, and if he's the only Skywalker left, then yeah, of course. But I hate that to be the ending of the Skywalker family. I can't see them ending so negatively on the Skywalker family. I can't see like the last legacy, the last thing we ever hear about the Skywalker family is, oh, it was Ben Solo turned Kylo Ren, he killed millions of people through the First Order's acts, and then he died himself, and that's it. That's what you have to remember the family on. I don't like that. I don't think that's a very optimistic way for Star Wars to end the saga, and that doesn't feel Star Wars to me. So, to me, there has to be some sort of redemption in Kylo's eye, or in like Rey's eyes, or Leia's eyes, or somebody. There's redemption there, and I think the audience will feel that, and will forgive Kylo in a sense, but he could still die because that's just he's the villain now. Whether or not, I mean, I think you can. That's a great character to me, where it's he's heroic in his own way, but he's still the villain, and he still has to suffer the consequences. So there's that. Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of like Leia, because Leia could still definitely survive, and I think that's very possible.
Right.
But I think she could very well also be written to pass in the film. So if she survives, then definitely Skywalker's still alive. But so regardless of who's alive and who's dead at the end of the film, I think it'll still end this struggle with the Skywalker family and the state of the galaxy. I think it's got to put to rest the whole Empire, Rebels, First Order, Resistance. That's got to be done.
Yeah.
Peace in the galaxy, at least until the next series of films. But whenever that happens, it's got to be something new. Doesn't mean it has to be bigger. Like to me personally, what I would do is at the end of this, I would stop this galaxy-wide threats of like the Empire,
like Civil War, basically.
Yeah. So if it's something else, I would bring in the Yuuzhan Vong, and I know there's rumors out there already about that. So that's a big galaxy-wide event where you're teaming. The whole galaxy is teaming up against a very different threat.
Yes.
It's not Civil War, so that could be. Otherwise, I think you need to do smaller yet still epic, but smaller films. It's just more planetary based, or whatever it is. It's not galaxy wide domination kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think the whole goal of this is to end this struggle of 9 films with the state of the galaxy, with the Civil War, and to hopefully restore the Jedi back, and to kind of bring peace and balance, like the title might be, to the galaxy. So it's just optimistic. It's hopeful. At the end. I mean, I can always unpack that more, but that's in a nutshell much how I feel.
Yeah, and you can probably think about some stuff when I say something, but like I'm with you. And I think the biggest thing for me is I'm kind of going back because I know I just said earlier, that JJ is probably concealing some major
Yeah.
twists and turns and all that stuff. But
Absolutely.
then I take a step back and I start thinking like, well, you know, when we saw Force Awakens, at least for me, I mean, there wasn't really that much besides maybe Han Solo dying. There wasn't really that much surprise in that movie. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
it was
mean?
safe.
Like, it was pretty
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I didn't go in there thinking, okay, this is a JJ movie. I got to see, you know, what has he been hiding, you know? And obviously he's hiding someone's death. But, you know, when in the circumstances of the scene, you kind of saw that coming, right? You kind of saw, okay, this isn't going to end well for somebody. But with this, with everything that happened with The Last Jedi, because obviously I think a lot of us went in with a different feeling of how that movie was going to go. Now you kind of make the mistake. You could make the mistake of thinking, well, this is going to go a certain way. But I'm starting to feel like, well, you know what? Maybe there's not a lot of twists and turns in it. You know, maybe this is going to be actually a pretty straightforward conclusion to this trilogy, and thus the entire saga. I think the biggest surprises will be how Leia's used, how Luke is used. But if the biggest question, as of right now, coming out is whether or not Kylo is redeemed, like I just can't believe that is the central question that this movie is meant to answer. Because I think we both talked about it. I think what we saw in The Last Jedi was a person that's not conflicted.
Right.
Like, he is evil.
Yeah.
And I don't expect him to be redeemed. I don't expect him to have a struggle anymore, because I think he had his struggle in Force Awakens. And then he ultimately made the decision. Because once he turned Rey down to leave with her, like that was it. Like, he ain't coming back. And honestly, I don't feel like that's the right path if he is going to come, because like you said, I think he's too far gone.
Yeah.
You know? So it begs to bring up, and this is kind of why I brought this to us today, is that what are the questions? Like, what am I, if I really think about it, what do I need answered?
Yeah.
What do I need? What do I need to be told in this movie that's going to make me be, you know, like, wow, okay, that, you know, because like you said, if it's a civil war, if it's just who's going to win, I can kind of feel like I know who's going to win because it's the end. Yeah. I mean, if you think back to Return of the Jedi, right? It's like, okay, the conclusion is the good guys are going to win. How they win, you're going to enjoy that.
It's the drama.
The drama of how that
happens.
But, you know, what happens to Darth Vader? Is he gonna be redeemed? Is Luke gonna actually bring him back to the light side? I mean, those are big questions back then in that movie. Again, I think the one thing that hurt the prequels, in my mind, as far as storytelling goes, is that you knew where it was going. There wasn't really a surprise. You knew going into Episode 3, the Clone Wars were going to end.
Yeah,
Vader was he was going to become Vader. Padme is probably going to die. The twins are going to get born. Obi-Wan's going to go into hiding. You know, it's like Jedi's are gone. You knew all that was going to happen. You know, but the cool thing was seeing it for the first time, right?
Yeah. It's still sad. I mean,
very sad.
When the Jedi Purge was happening at the end, like
absolutely
rough.
Yes, you get attached to a lot of those guys and girls, and you see
even now when the Clone Wars show is out there. Now watch it. It's like, God, it's way more dramatic.
Is. Agreed. And the Clone Wars definitely, I think, have heightened the awareness of the prequels, which is a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But again, you get into this. We don't know anything beyond Episode 9, right? There's nothing that's been canonized.
Yeah.
Beyond Episode 9, so we don't know how this ends. We don't know who survives. We don't know what path they take after this. So I mean, if I think back to Episode 8, The Last Jedi, left wondering, okay, what was left unanswered?
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Empire Strikes Back, I mean, it really left on a downer. I mean, they were like defeated.
Yeah.
And the question was how do they get back? How do they get Han? How do they, is Vader truly lost?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have all these questions. I mean, what is the question right now? What are the questions right now besides how do they defeat the First Order?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what questions are lingering in your mind right now from Episode 8 that you think you need answered?
It still has very much an Empire feel, and I think a lot of people are kind of coming onto the fact like each of these movies so far have reflected its predecessors, but because Resistance it had very much of a spark of hope kind of theme, definitely, but they were still defeated. It was like it looks like a handful of them on the Falcon. I know there's some off-world, obviously. There's Resistance still out there, but to me, big question is like, how are they going to regain their numbers back, and how are they going to build up an army to fight the First Order, who's now in every part of the galaxy? Like all the cells of Snoke's, First Order cells have risen up, and it said so in the opening crawl. So they have control of the galaxy now. So we're back to square one with like the original trilogy. And
you're right. So that's what I'm saying. Is that question, just that question alone, enough to satisfy the conclusion of this? Because again, like you said, we've kind of answered that question before in a different trilogy.
Yeah.
But what is different? What is unique about this?
I don't know if it's unique necessarily or not, but we got snippets of like Rey at the end where she kept the Jedi books and she has a lightsaber. So to me, it's seeds being laid out of like, okay, where is she going to take the legacy of the Jedi next?
Yes,
that's for me a big part of it. And obviously, Kylo is in a horrible place right now. So it's just what's he going to do next? Like that's so much what I want to see is how are they going to either escalate or progress in their journey, because that's from the very beginning we kept hearing JJ saying like this is a story of someone becoming a hero and someone becoming a villain, and we're seeing that definitely. And Rian Johnson carried that through excellently, actually. Like Kylo definitely is the villain of the story, and he's made that clear. And he's made a clear decision. And to me, that you would think that there's no coming back. I don't think that the main question that JJ's trying to answer, I don't think, is can Kylo be revealed? I think Rian Johnson and JJ are almost assuming that the audiences think, no, he absolutely can't be revealed. Like that's not even a question that they're thinking about.
Redeemed, you mean?
Redeemed, yeah. Sorry. So almost that could be a surprise to toy with that idea if Kylo can be redeemed, because I don't think that's necessarily an answer that he wants everybody to have coming into the film. I don't know, obviously, but big questions. Yeah, how is the Resistance gonna build back up to defeat the First Order? That's on the big scheme of things. On the small scheme of things, it's literally how is Rey going to progress her next steps in the Jedi and bring that back and use that to defeat Kylo. So, I mean, like you said, it's probably still very safe, and it'll just kind of unfold as it seems to unfold. It's like you have the underdogs, you have the big guys, and how's it going to fight and how's it going to unfold, and how will this conflict with the Skywalkers and Kylo and Leia and Rey and all that stuff be resolved? So it's really just, everything's there. It's just seeing it unfold. I don't think there are any surprises necessarily coming into it or what to expect story-wise.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, I think, I think if the time frame is a year, which is rumored, I think I definitely want to know. I mean, at least I would expect to see Rey either has trained or is training Jedi. I mean, that's
it's kind of the hope. My hope.
I think if we want to see, and I actually just thought of this.
Oh boy.
If we actually want to see a full conclusion to this story from the beginning of episode 1, I think you have to, in a sense, go back to what it was before everything got bad. Meaning that I feel like you have to lay the groundwork or make sure that this ends with the true return of Jedi as guardians and of guardians of peace in the galaxy. And I feel like you have to truly destroy the Sith because that's what it all started. It all started in episode 1, the unveiling of the Sith. Like, at last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
Right.
Well, they revealed, they took over, and I mean, whether they say it or not, they are Sith. I mean, they're Sith, right? They may not practice it or whatever, look at holocrons, but I think that's actually going to be revealed. I think that is one thing that
would be
revealed.
really cool to see. Yeah,
I think they are Sith, and the final destruction of the Sith. I mean, that's, if you think about it, that's the story, right? The Skywalkers are in there, but the story is the Jedi thought everything was perfect. The Senate was thriving,
right.
Government was but all because Palpatine, caused this ripple from then on. And to me, this is how you culminate that is truly the destruction of the Sith, the destruction of evil, and the establishment of the Jedi again. Now, the Jedi again, and maybe we see this in later incarnations down the road beyond episode 9, but the Jedi, I think Yoda and them, I think they understand their mistakes. They got too complacent. They didn't study the Force as much, or because they
honestly, maybe a little too black and white to be quite honest. Too detached,
right
from people, too uncompassionate.
Possible. Yeah, that's very true.
For fear of being too compassionate to form attachment. So I think in a sense that's
to fall to the dark side, kind of, right? Yeah.
So in a sense, it's like they try to be so closely guarding the galaxy, and people, but not involve themselves enough to.
Because in the end,
effective.
Yeah, because in the end, Anakin, as you can clearly see, the relationship with Anakin. With Anakin and Padme, the relationship he had with her, that wasn't what caused him to turn.
No.
Right?
No,
the fear of losing her, but it was manipulated.
Oh, yeah.
By a Sith Lord.
Yeah, Palpatine twisted his feelings, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that they can't have relationships. I mean, like he even says to her, he's like, compassion is central to a Jedi's life. I mean, it's like, you have to care about something, about life, in order to defend it and protect it. So, yeah, it's a crazy catch-22 kind of thing. A Jedi shall not what is it? A Jedi shall not.
The poster from episode 2.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Not love, no whatever.
Yeah. Shall not know anger, nor hatred, nor love. Right. So you're putting love with the words hatred and anger. It's like, but like you said, we are encouraged to love in a sense, right? Because he's compassion is a part of a Jedi's. Anyway, but I feel like there's things that this. I mean, it's funny we talked about this new Jedi Order. Can establish going forward that would make them better and stronger. That's what I want to see. Yeah. And then I want to see Rian Johnson's trilogy like 30 years later and the Jedi are back and protecting the galaxy and doing those stories again, right? Because to me, that's what Star Wars is about, the Force.
Yeah. Man, that's what sets it apart.
So that would be my conclusion. Like that would satisfy what I expect. And I feel like that's, again, I mean, every story almost... You have to conclude the how do you say it? Like the resolution of the story is fixing the problem in the beginning, right?
Yes, that's true.
And looking back, it's like the Sith were the problem, and they still are the problem. In every trilogy, the Sith has been the problem.
Like I definitely see that. I mean, But I see it as it's correcting the wrong, but it's not going to reflect exactly how it was in the beginning. Like obviously, like you just said, like the Jedi will learn from their problems and all that stuff. So I don't think everything will go back to, there's going to be a big Senate, basically how Episode 1 was. Not that world.
Okay.
Where you have what basically everybody didn't like about the prequel. So you had this big Senate thing. It was very political.
Yeah.
We saw all that, and then the huge Jedi temple, big monastery. I think it's going to be that, but maybe just like a little different. And maybe that is just how the Jedi are practicing their beliefs. They're not so dogmatic about like Buddhas. Like we're living our monastic life, and we're very separated from society, but we protect it at the same time. We have our temple. And we have ours.
So you don't think they answer to the Senate technically, because that's what they did?
Yeah, I just think it'll be different. Like honestly, now I'm thinking about it. Even going to the Last Jedi, if JJ is going to be counting anything into the fold of what Rian Johnson did, but where Yoda burnt the tree, and Luke thought the Jedi texts were in there.
Yes.
It's like the Jedi, the sacred Jedi texts were in there, and Yoda's basically tell him like, well, that's not important. Did you read them? Like, it's not about the books, not about the teaching. So Yoda, in a sense, has already learned from his mistakes,
right?
From that. So I think Rey obviously kept them, and she's going to learn from it.
And he probably knew that.
Yeah, exactly. And then that'll help Rey in her studies. But I think Rey's a good indication that we're not going to get the same type of Jedi. I think we're going to get a different.
And the other way to look at that though is that what we saw in Episode 1 wasn't, maybe this is what you're saying actually, how we saw the Jedi in Episode 1, that could have been the state of the Jedi that were getting away from the original teachings. So maybe this is where the opportunity is that Rey can learn the original Jedi text and establish what the Jedi were actually supposed to be.
That's what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they of thousands and thousands of years of maybe they started forgetting about the text and started doing their own thing, and that's what caused them to not sense that the dang Sith were right there.
Yeah, that's true. They were
next to them. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what Yoda was kind of talking about. Was forget about, or it's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, he knew that they should. We just got to forget how you thought it was.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to go back to what started all this.
Yeah,
I
mean, he was really hammering it home with Luke saying, failure is the best teacher, because
they failed.
A part of the biggest failure of the Jedi of all time.
That's right.
He's telling him like she has to learn that. You have to learn that. It's what happened. So it's we failed, and
that is right.
That's how we'll get better, is by accepting and learning from that failure. So
yeah,
it's good, man. We're learning some great things here.
This is a lot of good stuff.
Everybody
here.
needs to take note.
Yes, and I mean, I didn't get a call to make Episode 9. Did you get a call? Because I feel like we could have did a good job.
But I think it's going to be successful just based on what we were saying here. I think we're the Jedi canon is in good hands because of us, because of us being here.
That's right.
We'll take care of it, guys. Don't
that's
worry.
Right. Yeah,
we'll fix everything.
Yeah, soon to come, the Inside the Force trilogy.
Yeah, don't worry. We got you.
No, so we'll definitely go into that more, I'm sure. Obviously, our feelings and thoughts could definitely change based on seeing some stuff and trailers and all that stuff. But I feel like that's I don't know. I think we've kind of talked about what would make the most sense. Now, hopefully, JJ's thinking the same thing.
Hopefully, he's the same.
Now, Chris Terrio helped write this, right? Is that right? This movie?
Yes.
Chris Terrio and JJ, I think, wrote Episode 9. So no Kasdan.
Nope. Yeah. So
because Kasdan helped write 7, right? I think, right? Yeah. Then JJ and Kasdan wrote 7.
Yep.
Based on Michael Arndt. Kind of,
and again, everybody, I think it was a rewrite. Force Awakens was a rewrite, so that could be one. That's one reason probably why it was so safe, is they had to do that because they didn't have time to make it too crazy. I don't know. I mean,
of course, Ryan wrote Episode 8.
Yeah.
So interesting. What comes? I mean, this is a big movie for Star Wars. I mean, it's a big year in general to see what is the Star Wars franchise going to be like the next several years. Exactly. What are we going to focus on?
Yeah.
Are we still going to focus on the Civil War?
Yeah.
Or are we actually going to see some new characters, new stories, new timelines?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to get beyond the Skywalker Saga, which is 1 through 9? Are we going to get away from those years?
Yeah.
You know,
Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, with the casting show, which I'm excited about, but that's still focused on this era. Mandalorian is now within the era between 7 and 8, 6 and 7.
yeah.
But I don't see it as dealing a whole lot with the Civil War. I think it's going to be its own thing. So that's definitely very exciting. Stormtroopers will be there, but I don't think it'll be too focused on it.
And the one disappointment, to be honest, I have is now knowing that between 6 and 7, there wasn't an established Jedi Academy. You know, like there was kind of.
It started,
but it still started years later. Like it wasn't right after episode 6. Like, because we're only talking like 6 or 7 years before episode 7. Before episode 7, right? I mean, it took him, it seems like he wandered the galaxy for like 20 years before really settling down and taking students and then taking Ben, because Ben had to grow up, right? I mean, he wasn't a kid, a baby when he took him.
No, definitely not a baby. We don't know when he started teaching. I don't think Bloodline gave us a specific age when he started working with Luke. I can't remember.
I thought it was in there that she said it had been a few years.
Yeah, probably. It probably is in there.
Meaning that he was probably a early teenager.
Yeah,
you know.
Possibly, yeah.
So it took him a good.
I mean, there's granted, there's a lot of stories still that we have to know, like the Luke starting that new academy, and the stories of Snoke, how he tempted Ben and turned Ben. Like that's stuff. I really want to know those stories.
Actually, that's true.
I don't know how and when we're gonna get that.
Yeah, when did Snoke even emerge?
Yeah, so
still
plenty of questions about that.
There is a ton, but again, my disappointment is that there's no other. It's not like a Jedi Order at that point, you know. And so knowing, because you think after episode 6, based on all the EU, that there was a Jedi Academy and all this stuff, but didn't happen. maybe now. Yeah, after episode 9.
Don't worry.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. That was a great discussion. Interesting. Love to hear everybody's thoughts on that. But I think we dove into something there. I think
we've uncovered,
scratched the surface.
We solved
it. We did solve it. I think we can even do more.
Yeah,
we can even do more.
Don't worry, guys. Come on. Games, we'll take care of it.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Gosh, that's a whole nother conversation. Why aren't we getting good games? Yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody. Hopefully we'll have some more news to talk about next week. Have a great week, everybody. Star Wars Celebration 58 days away. We'll be there and we'll be giving away all kinds of stuff. Trust me. I got all kinds of stuff. You don't see it, but there's a closet right there, and there's all kinds of stuff in there. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. For Case Cooley.
Mom, you said that the biggest problem in the universe is that no one helps each other. Little Annie quote, but I think it relates.
That's true. No, that's true.
Let's not forget that episode 1 has some good things going for it.
And people, 20th anniversary of episode 1 this year.
It's crazy.
Gosh.
20 years ago, I remember where I was.
Yeah, I do too. I was camping out for episode 1. Is what I was doing. I camped out 3 nights in a row.
Holy cow. That's so great.
Watching episode.
It's sad that that's not a thing anymore.
Well, yeah, reserve seating,
you can
pre-sale. I mean, you couldn't buy your tickets pre-sale then. You had to wait in line and get your ticket and walk right into the theater.
Now the tradition is like sitting in your computer and refresh every 2 seconds. Like Colin's like, "Did you get it? I can't. I'm on it. It's frozen. Everybody's on it. Yeah, I can't. You're on it. How do you get 10 tickets? I'll pay you back."
That's true. Yeah. Oh my god, that is the new way.
That's it now.
I just saw a commercial. It says you can buy tickets now.
But they released it early. What? They were supposed to release it until no, they did. It's out. It's live now. That's how it was last time. Like it was live way before the tickets went on sale for Last Jedi.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
We were all freaking out.
We were.
What?
And the real quick on the episode 1, it was remember the Cinemark old Lexington Green theaters?
Yeah.
Like that's where I camped out.
Yeah.
We and luckily me and two other guys, college guys, I was in college still. These guys, there was a guy right in front of us, crazy. We were on the side of the theater, right? The line from the front door all the way to the side. So we're probably 100 people in. He brought a TV stand, a TV, and he had the original trilogy in VHS, right? Because it was a TV VHS combo. I'm not even joking. He had stacks of extension cords. And I'm telling you, I don't even know where it went. He ran it like hundreds of feet somewhere.
Yeah,
where he found a plug.
The batteries. This isn't a little tablet.
No,
he had to put effort.
There's no. I mean, I had a cell phone then.
Yeah,
and we watched like just on rerun all three in a row, all night, all day.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And the only time I left, my buddy stayed there the whole time, but I had to leave because I was taking summer school.
Yeah,
so I'd go to class, come back, get in line. Anyway,
that's exciting.
Bought 4 tickets that at midnight, saw the midnight, and they went back 3 times that day. Anyway, episode 1, that was my experience.
So that was
where were you at?
I didn't see it when it first opened.
Yeah, you were only like 8 years old.
8. Yeah, so I didn't see it when it first opened. I was totally aware of it though. I was into it before the movie. I remember seeing all the marketing and Kmart and going through and having Corey like, who's this guy's name? Like Qui-Gon Jinn? I don't. How do you say that? So I saw. I think. I was going into it. Corey, my brother, was his second time seeing it because I remember him telling me like, "Oh, there's like really 2 cool like lightsaber fighting scenes in there."
Yeah,
and so I'm sitting and watching it and looking at him. He's like, "This is it. This is one of the cool scenes." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I saw it twice in theaters. Though.
Yeah,
I remember it was out Lexington Green, of course, because that was the only one around here at the time, big one that was. Whatever. So I saw it, and it was weird because it was in the side theater, it was in a smaller theater, smaller screen on the end of the hall, and there was like they had like pre-show things happening. There was a magician walking around, and those guys
really?
dressed as a Chewbacca in costume. And I think there might have been a Greedo in costume too, walking around. So I don't know. And I'm thinking back and trying to think, why were they there? Because it was not opening. Maybe it was opening weekend still. I don't know.
Maybe
because maybe I saw opening weekend, but not the opening day. Because like, why would they have all this there, all these people there?
I don't know,
but
That's
crazy. It was super cool. It was
super cool.
It was a blast.
I will never forget this number. I saw it. I saw it in theaters 14 times.
That is incredible.
I saw it 14 times.
You don't hear
I saw
that.
it 4 in the first day.
Yeah, you don't hear that.
Then I
often.
saw it like 3 times the next day, and like twice on Sunday, and then it just periodically went. I remember after the 14th time, it was starting to get like I was in the theater by myself. I think because it was about to be, taken out of the theaters at that point. But I was like, I'm gonna see it one more time.
Yeah.
But that was back then when when it left the theater, you didn't get a copy.
It wait months,
6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
It wasn't like 3 months after like it is now, 2 months after it is now.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm watching every minute of this and then back then it came out on VHS first.
Right.
But then that was the first DVD I ever bought. Was episode 1. It eventually came out on DVD.
They re-released it though in theaters, didn't they? I feel like I remember seeing
they re-released in theaters.
On marketing of like, oh, it's coming back for like a week or something like that. And I was like, holy crap!
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
That's cool.
So you never saw the special editions in theater?
I didn't. My buddy Adam, he did. I wasn't even aware that they were in theaters.
You were young.
We had
the
copies.
It was early '97, so you weren't even 6 yet. You were 5.
I was about 5 or 6. Yeah. So I remember when we had the copies, obviously, the VHS special edition copies. I watched the heck out of the special features too. Like I tried to learn
all the interviews with that.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was so interesting.
It was so interesting.
That was like one of the first earliest times I was, again, like you said, like 5 or 6. Watching it like this is how movies are made, so super fun.
It was.
Remember the sound made a fart sound every time we closed the box.
In a certain way, it did.
Made a little fart sound. That was fun.
And I bought years later. I didn't realize that there were. I didn't realize the whole concept of widescreen versus pan and scan.
Oh, really?
Because no one really cared then,
right?
Because everything was square anyway, right?
Yeah.
And people actually were upset when they saw the black bars because they're like, "Well, I don't see the full screen,"
Yeah.
not realizing that is the full screen. You're just seeing.
I had no idea.
So I remember a buddy of mine in college, because 97, I was a freshman in college, blah, blah, blah. I know we're going a little longer.
That's fine.
Anyway, I remember getting in college, one of my fraternity brothers was big on widescreen. Like he was like, no, you got to see a widescreen, you know? And I'm like, what the heck is widescreen? But then he had the special editions. It came in a flat case.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh,
I ended up finding it. Yeah, I think I showed it to you. But yeah, the pan and scan were in a stacked, but the widescreen came in a box.
Oh, really? So so I guess I had a pan and scan then.
You had the tall pan and scan.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Those were all pan and scan because I had one of those.
Yeah.
But the flat box was the widescreen edition because you opened it up and all 3 movies are right there. Same box.
Yeah.
It just said widescreen at the top, but it came in a flatter box.
Cool.
It was really neat. So I saw his and I was like, I gotta have that. So I eventually bought it.
That's cool, man.
Man,
Good stuff.
good stuff. Yeah. So good memories.
I remember bringing it home. Getting it at Kmart and bringing it home.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I didn't know you yet when episode 3 came out, right? 2005.
No. Yeah.
That was that was 2000. Yeah, 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we didn't know each other.
Yeah. Well, I started.
You knew. I think you were with Brooke, but
No,
not then.
December is when I started
2005?
dating
Okay.
my wife.
Okay.
Your aunt. So the rest is history.
There it is, and here we are.
Here we are.
almost 20 years later.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
15, 14 years later. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, that's it. 14 years.
14
All right. Thanks everybody for sticking with us. A little extra. That's a little bonus
Yeah, there you
edition
go.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, bonus edition. Thanks everybody. See you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. He's Casey.
Bye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the force be with you.